I've added 120 grams of bread flour, 8 grams of yeast. That's a lot, but I want to express dough bread making. And I've added 24 grams of sugar. That is for the yeast to consume over the next 2 to 3 hours. Now I'll be making the batter. That means now I have to add 264 grams of water into this dry ingredients. Yeah, I forgot to weigh it, so I'm now reweighing it. Okay. Okay, 264 grams of water. I'm using a whisk to stir this and make the batter smooth batter. Fork or spoon will not work. They won't break the lumps down. And it's a sideways motion, not a stirring motion, that breaks the batter. It makes a better, smooth batter. Okay, that's it. We will let this batter rest for an hour. The batter has soaked for 1 hour, and now we shall add the salt, the palm oil and the balance of the flour, 280 grams of flour. This is 8 grams of salt I'm adding in. Give it a stir so the salt gets uniformly distributed all over the place. Now add the flour. Stir it so that the water gets into the flour. Once most of the flour is in contact with the water, we can add the oil. The oil is acting like a bread improver. It's far superior to any of the bread improvers you can get on the market. Most of them don't work anyway. It's the viscosity. It lowers the viscosity of the dough, so the dough is able to rise a lot more and quickly. Just mixing the oil up into the Now you see the water is coming out of the dough and the dough is becoming very sticky. And this is the point. I will leave it and let it rise. Let me scrape off some of the This is what I call a wet dough. It's difficult to shape, so you have to put it in a tin and let it rise. If you want to have something that is shapeable, then you have to use a dough that is a bit more dry. So that means you have to use a little bit less water. Okay, that's done. This is the first proof. We will let it proof for 1 hour. So when we are using the batter and dough method, the gluten polymer network will be in lumps all over the place. So to smoothen it out, we use a rolling pin and stretch the lumps of gluten polymers. So I sprinkled some flour on my work surface, and let's just dump this out and put a bit of flour here on top of the dough. And let's smoothen it out. I have some oil on my rolling pin so things don't stick so much. I can now leave this in my tin or give it another roll. I think I'll give it a bit more of a roll. Add a bit more flour on top. So it won't stick. just want to straighten it a bit this side. You can see now in it why I want to straighten it this side. Okay, this is my dough. Now I've oiled the tin previously, so I just put it in now. I don't have to press it down, it will eventually fill up the whole place itself. So now let's go for the second proofing. That can take anything between 1 to 2 hours. Depends on what you prefer. Okay, this was the bread I made yesterday, and let's take it out. Let us slice the bread. Now, there, look. Okay, let's have a look. This is the bread. It's very soft bread. And let me just put some butter on this. The butter is a bit frozen. Delicious. Let me have a look. Eat. Delicious.
Let me show you a more detailed view of the slice of bread. As you can see, there are quite a number of holes in the bread, pockets of air, and this is because we had a 2-hour second proof. If the second proof was about 1 hour 15 minutes to 1.5 hours, there'd be less holes